Hey, what's happening everyone? My name is Ryan, and today I wanted to show you how you can make a short narrative film from scripting to acting, editing, and even filming all by yourself. Let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, I have been working on a secret project just for you. It's a short film that I made specifically for this channel on YouTube. The film is called I'm Okay. I specifically made this film so that I can go through the process all on my own, play all the different roles, and then document my experience and share what I've learned with you here on the channel. Making a short film in general is a lot of work, but making a short film on your own is very tough. And so I thought I would give you a few tips and tricks based on my experience and what I've learned making this short film. Okay, so first I wanted to say that I prefer to film with a crew. Each and every crew member brings their own unique flair to the project at hand, and everyone pulling their own weight just makes the job that much easier. It's also way more fun to work on a project with people, so there's that element to it. However, being willing to make a film by yourself can really speed things along in terms of practicing your cinematography skills. Because you could practice your skills alone with very low risk and without anyone watching, it really is a great way to hone in your skills and get better at your craft. This is also a great way to build your portfolio and make yourself a demo reel that you could show potential clients on the skills that you have and what you can accomplish as a filmmaker, cinematographer, editor, or any of the above. Okay, so let's talk about the story. Make sure you're writing the script within the limitations that you might have, whether it's budget or time or gear, whatever it is. Make sure you're writing a story that's achievable to what you have available to you at the moment. Maybe you have your parents' house, use that to your advantage and write the script around that. And another tip for this is to make sure that you map out every single shot within your film. The more specific you are, the more detailed you are, the quicker it's gonna be and the more seamless it's gonna be on your shoot days. After you planned out each shot, then you're gonna wanna make a storyboard, really just visualizing the entire film, and then based upon that storyboard, create a shot list that you could take with you on set. This is really gonna ensure that you get every single shot that you need and allow some space in your mind to get a little bit creative and add even shots that weren't even originally in your shot list to begin with. All of this is just gonna ensure that you're as efficient as possible. There's a lot that can happen on set, and especially when you're filming by yourself, there's much more to think about. You're playing every single role and wearing every single hat. So really, the easier and more simplified that you can get things, the better. Okay, so let's talk about production. This process should run really smoothly if you are prepared with the steps that I mentioned earlier in the video. However, many things can go wrong, but the beauty of filming on your own with no crew or no budget is that really you could just take your time. Leave some time to make sure that you get the shot that you want. And also it's really smart to just leave room for the occasional wrench that's gonna be thrown in there. So fun fact, pretty sure I broke something. Wow. Sometimes you're really in it and you're filming the scene and you don't realize that it's already, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. You need to get home. So you probably need to close down production, get home, and come back another day. Because we have the allowance of time when it comes to filming by yourself with no budget, no crew, you really can just stop production anytime you want and come back another day and get the shot that you need. Okay, so let's talk about lighting. If you have minimal gear or you're just working with nothing but a camera, then I recommend using natural light whenever possible. It's free and you're probably gonna get the best lighting that you can get for your film. However, a couple things to keep in mind is to avoid spots that are gonna have changing light or harsh lighting or anything that's gonna be inconsistent for your scene. Now, lighting is one of the most important elements in making a film. However, it could also be challenging at times. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about how to shoot in natural light, I have a couple videos on the channel talking all about natural light and how to use it, so I'll leave the links in the description below. Okay, so next up is audio. Make sure to place a good amount of importance on your audio. In my opinion, if you had to invest in anything for your film, it would be audio gear. If you talk to any professional in the film industry, they will tell you that audio is 50% of the viewer's experience, and some would even argue that it's more than 50%. Now, definitely invest in audio gear, but if you don't have it within the budget to get something like this or anything else that I've shown you in this video so far, you could just use your phone. And that's actually what I'm using right now. As you can see, I'm using my voice memos for the audio in this segment. And as you can see, it doesn't sound that bad, and especially if you throw it into something like Adobe Audition or something like that, you could really manipulate the audio to get a decent sound quality. Invest in audio gear. And then after that, invest in getting to know know your audio gear so that you can get the best quality of sound for your film as possible. But spending a lot of time on your audio becomes especially important when you're filming by yourself. Because you don't have access to a dedicated sound guy that you trust to capture every sound that you need, it's up to you to ensure that you're getting the quality of sound that you need, which means that you're listening, you're tracking, and then you're going back and listening, and then double checking and triple checking, and then coming back and listening and doing that over and over and over again. You're really gonna have to allot yourself a lot of time on set to make sure that you have the quality of sound that you're looking for. So make sure that you're leaving enough time within your schedule to capture quality audio. Honestly, I can make a whole video on this topic, so if that's something that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below. Another thing to think about are camera angles. Since you might be limited to static shots on a tripod, think of creative ways that you can use those static shots to try and convey the emotion within your scene. If you have access to a gimbal or a slider, this can make it much easier to create some movement for your scene. However, for me, with all of the other things that I was thinking about on set, it was just much easier for me to put the camera on sticks, then create all of my movement in post. Now, this is something I wouldn't normally do in my films. However, this worked really great for me since I was working by myself. Okay, so let's talk about acting. Now, for me, I am not an actor by any means. However, here are a few things that I learned while I was trying to create a character within this film. Now, I played 2 different characters, and that was just to further push myself and challenge myself to do this entire project on my own. However, that really required me to know the script inside and out in order to be able to act and react to someone that wasn't actually there. So knowing your script really well is really important, but it's also gonna keep you very efficient and save you some time within your shoot days. Making a film or video can take a massive amount of time, so anywhere that you could save time, the better. Another tip for you is just try not to overact or underact. It's really easy when you're acting in front of an empty chair to overact or underact, and that's just because there's nobody in front of you to interact with. You're not able to read that person's emotions or even play off of some of their emotions. It can be really difficult to be authentic, but really what you want to do is just try to be as authentic as you possibly can and try not to overact. One way to be able to do this is to set up your camera on an off day and just start rehearsing your lines in front of the camera. Try to act as you would in the film, then just play back the footage and analyze your performance and make necessary adjustments as you see fit. In post-production, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time here because I've covered a lot of this in some of my older videos, but really this is where you're going to want to spend most of your time because your film really starts to come to life in the edit. Taking your time here to experiment with different cuts and transitions and audio and sound design can really make or break the film that you're trying to create. And what's great about this, and just like filming by yourself, you have all the time in the world to chip away at this edit as you can in between jobs and in between work or school or whatever you might have. And it's a great way to learn new editing skills that you could take and have in your pocket for other jobs. Time is really on your side when you're low budget and have no crew. This is really gonna help you in making the best film that you could possibly make. A couple things to keep in mind here are to know your script really well. Now, we talked about this earlier in the video. Knowing your script really well is gonna help you in the filming process, but also in the editing process because you already know what the film is gonna look like. You know what you want it to feel like. So you can just go back to your storyboard wherever you have that. We use Milanote here at Fox & Crown. So we just go back to our Milanote board and reference all of our shot lists and our storyboard and everything like that. And then we use that when we go to edit the film. It really just helps to speed things along. Another tip for you is to add music and sound design to your film. Now, music is probably the first thing you're thinking about when making your film. However, sound design is something that typically gets overlooked. Record a few tracks of Foley, like some footsteps or doors opening and closing, the sound of the person's breath as they're running. Little things like that can really draw your audience into the story that you're trying to tell. One other tip that I could give you is to just ask for feedback, ask for help. Our first ideas are usually the worst ideas, and this is why it takes directors and screenplay writers many months or even years to produce a film. It's because they're going through revision after revision, whether it's on the script or maybe the shot list or maybe even the whole idea in general. Asking for feedback and having those that you trust can really make or break your film. I've made a lot of films over the course of my life, and there were a lot of things that I had to learn on my own. Filmmaking really is a team sport, and having an entire crew really is so much easier and way more fun on set. So I honestly, personally, wouldn't have it any other way. However, if you don't have the budget to hire a crew and you can't get any of your friends and family, then I really highly encourage that you just continue to practice your cinematography on your own. You could totally make a short film just using what you have, whether it's your smartphone or a DSLR camera or or even if you have a cinema camera ready to go, just go out and make your film. Create some scenes for yourself, make it easily attainable, make sure that you're lit properly and you have great crisp audio, and really, that's all you need. So as always, I just want to encourage you to get out there and make your short film. Well, that's gonna do it for me, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this tutorial. If you're interested in seeing this film, let us know in the comments down below and we'll add it to the channel so that you can watch it soon. If you like this video or you learned something, please click the like button down below. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one. Laters.